Hey guys, today I want to walk you through how we are winter sowing. Now I have a couple of videos up on winter sowing, what we're winter sowing, a list of cut flowers that we're winter sowing. So today I'm actually going to put that in motion and I'm going to show you what you need to winter sow. Now first you need a container. A clear one is great. These are just old leftover orange juice jugs. I've got leftover milk jugs, and this is an avocado oil container. But the biggest thing is they are opaque, so it lets sunlight through. The next thing you need is a box cutter. You also need a Sharpie or a garden marker. You need labels, and you need duct tape or Gorilla Tape. That's coming. What is the deal? Hush! The first thing we're gonna do is remove the cap. The second thing we're gonna do is, only because it's easier to do it now, we are going to make some drainage holes on the bottom. 3 or 4 is good. And then, being mindful of our handle, we are going to cut around and we're going to use this handle as a handle, an opening. So there we go. And now what we're going to do, we're going to fill the base with soil and set it aside and do the rest of these. Okay, so we've got our jar. And now we're just going to fill it up with our soil. About halfway up. This is a little bit more than halfway, but halfway is good. So we'll just continue on with the rest of our jugs. Alright, now that I've got my jugs, I'm going to write out my labels. That way I can stick them inside of the jugs. Alright, so we've got our container, our label is in, and now we are just going to put our seeds just right over the top. This is a annual cut flowers mix. I'm not counting on everything to germinate, only because these things germinate at different times. So this has gypsophila, this has larkspur, poppies, black-eyed Susans, marigolds, zinnias, godetia, calendula, strawflower, and asters. Oh, and coreopsis and bachelor buttons. So this has a ton of different stuff, but typically they germinate at different times of the year. So I'm really curious what will pop up out of this container. So I'm just sprinkling these as evenly as I can on the surface. There's some poppy seeds left over. I want to make sure I get those. Oh, they're taped. Now, because there's poppy seeds in here, I'm going to tamp this down slightly just so all the seeds make contact with the soil. But because there's poppies and there's larkspur and there's bachelor buttons in here, I'm not going to cover the seed because a lot of these seeds actually need light in order to germinate. So I'm going to water these in, and then I will place the lid on and do the tape. I just want to make sure these don't get covered up with any soil. Move that to the side. For this one, we've got agastache. So since this is a clear container, I'm actually going to face the label out so that I can see it. And I don't have a ton of these seeds, so I'm actually just going to sprinkle the last of what I have in this little container. Let's see. The agastache also needs light to germinate, so I'm not going to cover those up either. So I'm just going to go through with the rest of these, and I'll show you what they look like whenever they get done and after we put the tape on the outside of them. So now that we have our jugs completed, I'm going to take them up to the front where I've got the other jugs stashed next to the house.